everybody. Can you hear me? Yes, perfect. Welcome to this session. My name is Martin Bretz. I'm from RG Active Rehabilitation from Sweden. I'm the vice chairman there in this organization. Today you're going to listen to active rehabilitation, how 40 years of community peer-based programs for persons with spinal cord injury in over 20 countries. How it's been developed, you will hear the history, what is the benefits of active rehabilitation and peer support. And then you will listen to how it developed in other countries and how is the situation in some of the countries today. And also some personal stories about how the active rehabilitation have changed your life for some of the speakers. And then finally, we're going to listen to how the active rehabilitation is compared to included with rehabilitation in hospitals, and then we have key element opportunities and challenges of active rehabilitation. So I'll leave to Jalle Jungnell.
My name is Jalle Jungnell, and I worked with RG Rehabilitation for nearly 40 years now. I'm not so active nowadays, but I was in the beginning. I'm just going to show you a little bit what we are doing, a little short summary. We use physical training, and we use one of these two, to reach independence. That describes more or less what we're doing. And to do that, we visit injured at hospital and rehab places and try to find people that we can bring to our organization. So I'm going to start to talk a little about the history. And before that, I have to have a slide here that shows you that nowadays the name in Sweden is Active Rehabilitation, but you will see the name Rekryteringsgruppen, the recruitment group, a lot. So, the history, it actually started with this man, Carsten Inde, in the mid-70s. He was an educated sport teacher and was about to start his life as a gym teacher or school teacher. His twin brother got the disease or got blind, and Carsten was involved with his brother, and he read for him at the university, for example, but he also started as a coach at the swimming. And at the swimming, there were a lot of not only blind people, but a lot of spinal cord injuries and other people with disabilities. And so Carsten got so involved in this, so 1976, he was one of the coaches in the Swedish swimming team. And when he was there, he realized one thing, that the sportsman at that time was much more independent. They work much better in the daily life than regular people in wheelchair at home. And he wondered a whole lot about that. Well, how could that be? And he realized that there was a big gap between the hospital rehabilitation and care and the ability of the sportsman. And there have to be a way to get people to start with sports. That was the first initial thought. So he thought, let's go around at the hospitals and where we have handicapped people and inform them about what the possibilities are, that you actually can do sport when you are in a wheelchair. And actually this picture is not from the 18th November, but the first time they were out at the hospital was in Karolinska, the 18th September 1976, and I was actually a patient there at that time. And they talk that you don't have to be at home, you can go out, you can do marathon, you can swim, you can weightlifting, whatever. But the most important thing for me was that one of the guys that were with Carsten was this guy, Gunnar Orlind. And he just looked so good. Healthy, strong, smiling, and just happy with life. And that was so revolving for me. I've never seen, I thought I had a life lying in a bed in a hospital, and I saw this guy. And then he said to me, we talked a little bit afterward and said, you know, last Saturday I went to a party with my girlfriend, and I have a puncture on the car, so I have to push for 1 kilometer to borrow tools to change the tires. And I was thinking, what? He drives a car? He can push for 1 kilometer? He has a girlfriend? And they're having fun, they go to parties and stuff, and then after that I thought, wow, maybe there is a life for me. Maybe I don't have to stay at hospital. I want to be like him. That was my first thought. And he said to me, remember, Jalle, you have to train at the hospital now, so you're strong when you come out, so you can handle your chair, you can take it into the car and so. And I wasn't that keen on physiotherapy, but the next morning I was down, 8 o'clock in the morning, bum, let me in, I want to train. I want to be like Gunnar. So, they continued traveling around hospitals in Sweden, 76, 78, and they went to a lot of places and informed people about sports, but it didn't happen so much. There were some people coming to start with sport, but not so many. So he thought, we're doing something wrong, what can we do? And we realized the gap was too big, as I showed you earlier. It's too large step. There has to be something in between the hospital and the elite sportsman. So let's start a camp for newly injured people. That was the idea. Let's bring all these newly injured people to a camp where we do sport activities, but not on the elite level, but on the level that is suitable for them. And in 1978, the first camp was in Stockholm at Hässeludden. And you see here a lot of people in wheelchairs. Many are participants, but many of the people in wheelchair are also leaders, because that was one of the early concepts, that you should have leaders that are themselves in a wheelchair so they know what they're talking about. We tried to find like 10, 12 Gunnars, we couldn't do that, but we found a lot of other very nice people. At the beginning we were struggling a little bit also, what kind of sport should we have, and we didn't know that. We tried, you can see very strange, we throw discus. I don't know if that's the best sport for us, but we did that. And as I said, many of the leaders were spinal cord injuries themselves. After we were at the camp, we realized also that there were a lot of people getting inspired at the camp. They want to do something when they come home, but they didn't know how. And we humans function like that. We need to push every now and then. And we realized we have to help them to start at home. So the third step was the follow-up step. And actually, it works like every participant in the camp got a kind of mentor. So I, as a leader, have 1 or 2 of the participants that I have to check up on after the camp. So I call them, I say, I'm interested in swimming. I call to the local swimming arena, see if he could get in there, or if there was a coach that was willing to take care of him, and so forth. So you have to work a little bit with that, and that was very, very important to get people started. So the method, just to repeat, information, first step. First contact in a hospital, introduction, that's the camp where you come and be introduced for different sports and activities you can do. And the follow-up. These was three steps in our method. And we, as an organization, at first we were only a group, the recruit group. But we formally formed the organization in 1981. At one of the camps, and actually I was the first chairman for 3 years there. There are several key elements in this model we have, and one of the key elements, and the most important I think, is the one with role models. To get to see that someone like Gunnar here, who has exactly the same T5 level as I have, as Inri, see what he can do, I can think, well, if he can do it, I can do it too. It's a matter of how much work I want to put into it. And this is so important, because, I mean, if Martin, for example, who is a quad, meets Gunnar, he's going to say, will think, well, it's easy for him because he has no disability in his arm, so you cannot relate to that. So you have to have leaders that you can relate to have similar handicap that yourself have. So role models is one important, and it's to show what's possible, it's to inspire, of course, and also to give you this self-confidence that you actually can do things. Another key element is the training environment. It's very important that you train for the everyday situations that will occur in your life. And you have to think, what do I do when I wake up in the morning? I wake up, I transfer to my chair, I take the chair into the car, I go out in the town, I have to maybe go over curbs and so forth. So you have to train for all these situations. You don't need to be good at discus. You need to be good at wheeling your wheelchair or whatever it is. So the training environment is very important. And another thing is the integration aspect. We would like also, if somebody go home and want to practice at gym, it's better that they practice in a regular gym, because then you meet people without disability and you be integrated in society, which is a very, very strong point. Or swimming, you go to a regular swimming hall, of course. And I want to say one other thing. 10 minutes, yes, I see, thanks. I see another thing is also that we practice on the camp. Swimming itself is maybe only 30% of the whole thing. The whole thing includes learning how to undress, you share, for example, how you transfer from the wheelchair down in the water, how you get up from the water, and all that is around. Because then we prepare this participant, then he's prepared to go at the swim arena at home, because he knows how he handles the facility and the situation. That's really, really important. Then we have the selection of different activities, and there are different criteria that we think is good. And one is that it's good if you have a physical benefit of the training, because you need to be, the truth is you need to be strong if you're in a wheelchair. And you should train things, as I said, that help you in everyday life. It's also good if you train with something that you could make you integrate. You can train together with not disabled people. And another thing, the fourth one I wrote down there is, we thought very much of this in the camps we had, is that the activity has to be accessible for all participants. I myself, for example, I love basketball. It's the best sport, I think. But we choose not to have that in our camps, because if we had that, only half of our participants could be active in basketball, because many have quads or have other disabilities that will not make them able to do that. And in that case, we will strengthen the self-confidence for half of them, but we will lower the confidence for the other half. So that's not good. So that's why we choose not, okay, it's a good sport, but not for everybody. So let's not do that. And the last, and I repeat this all the time, the criteria for the activities, it should be activity that boosts your confidence. When you succeed, you feel, well, I'm good at something. That's good. Maybe I'm good at other things too. So, and then we have the third thing is the selection of activities that we had in the beginning. We have the basic physical activities, and wheelchair practice was one, of course. We have the weightlifting in the gym. We have the lifter here, sitting here, I see. Yes, it's getting stronger and stronger. And then we have swimming, of course. This was the three main basic physical activities we had. But we also have additional activities like table tennis. I mean, everybody is not willing to do a very hard physical sport, so you have to have something for those people. Or you have maybe a handicap that makes it difficult. So table tennis and archery was activities we also had in the early. Nowadays there are many, many other activities. once again, they should build your confidence. So, just to repeat what I said, key elements, role models is the most important of all. Think about the training environment, selection of activities, and they should build your confidence. And another thing that is so important in our work is that we have experienced spinal cord injuries, transferring their knowledge and inspiration to new spinal cord injuries. So, as it works now, one who has been a participant maybe be a leader in 3, 4, 5 years. So it's generation and after generation. So we have many generations in Sweden by now, handing over the torch. So we just look a little bit fast about the camps. The camps could be an introduction camp with people coming pretty much from the hospital, or the last 6 months has been in the hospital. Then we could be 20 to 30 participants, maybe 12, 18 leaders. In the summer camp, we could be 50 participants and 30 leaders. That's more like a follow-up camp. And many of the leaders, as I said, have been participants themselves earlier. We practice 3 to 4 times every day. It's pretty tough, but we would like to make it tough. And we also have demands on the participants, because in society it is like you can't ask for something for a poor person in a wheelchair. Society treats us with 2 gentle fingers, but we can, to ourselves, we can be as tough or as demanding as we need to be sometimes, because we have to urge and push people to at least try. You can't force them, but you have to urge them to at least try to do something. And leaders in the summer camps, leaders and participants are sleeping together in classrooms, 7, 8, 9 people, and that's so important in the whole thing, that you see how the experienced spinal cord injury lives when they go to bed, and how they transfer everything. And for a quad, only to see one brushing their teeth, how did they do when they have very bad fingers, for example. There's so many things that you see when you're living together. You don't see that if you have single room hotel. And one of the most important thing of the whole thing is to at evenings and breaks to talk to each other, exchange experience, and how do you do that, what kind of car do you have, how do you do when you transfer, whatever, it's so important. Or just having fun is also important. Actually, come to think of it, it's the most important. There were many spin-offs from these camps we had, and one of the things where we have many courses for PTs and OTs. We had actually in Sweden already in the 80s, we were actually as a part, it was only half a day or a day, but we were a part of the education. So we went to different universities to inform about our organization and what we do. We have had children camps over the years. We have had camps even for parents, where parents are having like a course, and the children are at the camp, the parents having a course, and learning from spinal cord injuries who themselves have been childs and grown up, or spinal cord injuries that has childs. So we try to educate the parents. And of course, the parents have to sit down in wheelchairs and try out to push a marathon, for example. Or we have retro camps from an idea of a Charan here. And that's very good, because not all, but some of us are getting older. I'm one of them. And there are new issues for us that are getting older. We have shoulder operations. We have to know a doctor who can fix it for us. But with shoulder operations, there are problems with pressure sores, and we get a little bit scoliosis and whatever. So it's very important to to find out or to get knowledge of what happens with us when we get older. Because I'm, if not the first, the second generation of spinal cord injuries, because in the 60s people didn't survive. So in the 70s we were pretty much the first, you know. We have camps and courses about sexuality, which is also important. It is, Katarzyna will tell you a little bit about that, which is taboo, was taboo, but of course, we want to drive a car, have a girlfriend, and we want to have sex, of course, as everybody else. And that's important to talk about. And there we have you, Ulrika. We also have a project with, that includes parenting together with Spinalis, which is fantastic. And it shows that you actually can live your life as you want. We had magazines in 1982, so this is, I don't recognize myself nearly, but we've done that, and that is, in Sweden has been good because it's informative. Nowadays there are new medias, but it worked very well in the 80s and the 90s at least. But also there's another spin-off, and that some of us, like Bosse Lindqvist on the left and myself, the wheelchair on the right, we thought the equipment was so bad when we were working as leaders so we started to make our own wheelchairs because there was no good in the market. So that's also, you could say, a spin-off from this work. And there are many, many more spin-offs. I just want to say a couple of last words here, and that is, you think about it, handicap is actually relative states. It depends on how the environment looks, how the city looks, or even how the nature looks. That's the environment that we have to be in. And we have aids and equipment to handle that. And how handicapped we are also then depends on our personal ability. So these three things together decides if you're handicapped or not. If we are in a very accessible city, we're not so handicapped, even if we don't have so great personal ability. But if we're going out in the woods, for example, we need very great personal ability. And for us in RG, we have worked with the last point there, the person's ability. We do not work with trying to change the environment. There are other organizations that work with architecture and ramps in the city and whatever. We don't work, we don't work with the equipment. We work with trying to raise the ability with a person as it is now. We work with, this is the situation now. It might be better in 20 years. There might be stem cell research, there might be robots or whatever, but this is now. So what can we do now to improve the situation, now, the next year, and in 2 years? So that's what we work with.
And even though everything has almost the same since the beginning, but some activities have changed, and today we still have the same key elements, but some activities are different. But it's the approach and the purpose is the same. It's to help spinal cord injury people with spinal cord injury to integrate in society with work, family, and meaningful life. That's, for my part, I want that Jalle will grow old and die old. That's almost the ultimate purpose of the organization. So you can, when you have spinal cord injury, that you see the opportunities, not only the challenges and problems that you faced in the beginning. And next one, please. So we use training and physical activity to build physics and self-confidence. We use experienced spinal cord injuries to guide and inspire others. So I learned from Jalle something, even though he's stage 5 and I'm a tetra, but we can still learn a lot from each other. And now I'm going to hear about how this was developed in other countries.